Hi everybody, I'm here in Sierra Vista, Arizona. I got in yesterday. I'm here at Gary Montgomery's house. That's Gary right there. How you doing, Gary? And he's on the 2000 Fat Boy that I'll be riding on this little excursion we'll be taking. Let me show you what Gary will be riding. He's going to be on this 1927 Indian there, and he says, I have some gas here, but I want to take the ethanol out of it. I said, what? So check this out. This is how you do it. So what's the first thing you do, Gary?
Okay, we started with an empty glass carboy.
Yeah.
So we can see we have a transparent gallon jug. We had this much water right up to the line.
Okay.
We're going to put this in here. And this is going to mix with the ethanol and draw it out of the gas.
So you just put water in a regular container.
Yes.
Okay. Just plain old water from the tap, any kind?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, now that's empty.
Yeah.
And we're going to put some gas.
So now this gas here has ethanol in it.
Yes, it's up to 10%,
Okay.
but we don't think it's quite that much.
Okay.
And we want to get that out for these old motorcycles.
So you put gas with ethanol in the bottle that you just put plain water in.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have to make any sort of, proportions, or you just put
No.
gas? No.
We measure the water going in, and we'll measure the water coming out to make sure that we get more out than we put in. That means we actually drew off the ethanol.
Okay. So the line on the bottle when you were measuring the water was just to make sure you did that.
So that we know how much water is going in, and then we'll compare that with how much water comes out.
Okay. How big is this bottle we're pouring into?
5 gallons.
5 gallons. But this would work if you did it with 6 or 10 or what?
Any amount, yeah.
Just as long as you know how much water went in, so you can make sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you do this because you can't buy ethanol?
We cannot get ethanol-free gas in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Unlike Hilo, where the fishermen demand it, and so they sell it.
Well, I buy it at the 76 station in Waipio near Mililani. But it's expensive.
Yeah.
So this is regular gas. What do you have to use any special grade?
I use the 91 octane, so I have because you will lose a small amount of octane from the ethanol. So I start with the higher higher octane,
Okay.
so that I still have a high octane after the ethanol is drawn
After
off.
it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, wait, hold on. Let me see this here. So now you just shake it. Wow. Okay.
And then
Well,
see it separate.
Yeah. So then, you can actually just see it separating right there already. Doesn't take very long, does it?
It doesn't take long at all. We'll let that go a little longer because there's some foam from shaking.
Yeah.
So we want to get rid of that. We'll let that settle out, let those bubbles come out, and then we'll siphon off the bottom.
Okay.
You could just as easily, if you had a valve here, you could turn this upside down and pour it out.
Or if you had a spigot on
If you
the
had a
bottom
spigot
of
on the
this,
bottom, it should-
you could do it. Okay. Cool thing. So now this is the pump that you're going to be drawing the. Okay. So down there is that's the bucket with the little line on it. Okay. Are there any mistakes during this process you need to be careful of making?
Oh, spillage could be a hazard.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can get a shot of you pulling that separated part out. So that's it. So everything on the top of that, where you can see that separation, is non-ethanol gas.
Right.
Wow. And that's because the water will mix with the ethanol, but the gas will not mix with the water.
Exactly.
Oh man, I wish I would have paid more attention in science class. Your old bike just does not like ethanol. Is that the reason you do this?
It runs on it.
Yeah.
But it's just the idea that, to me, ethanol is an impurity that I don't want in my old machines.
But you do add a little two-cycle oil.
I do add some Royal Purple. You can use any good quality two-cycle oil to those old flathead motors, and it'll help lubricate the valves, the top end. Whereas with the gas, you wouldn't get that lubricity, and you stand a chance of, if you park it over a long time, that the valves might freeze in the guides if they haven't been lubricated. So this kind of prevents that, and it'll also help prevent burning your motor in case you got a little lean.
Oh. Is that because the gas back in 1927 was so different than it is today?
I believe so. I believe we had much better gas in the old days. My cousin had a Chevy pickup in 1970 that was parked for 18 years back in Arkansas, sitting out in the weather. I put a new carburetor on it, a battery, and it fired right up on the gas that had been sitting in that tank for 18 years.
Wow.
So that's how much, from the bottom of that line up to here, is how much ethanol we pulled out of that gas.
I don't know if you can see that. See that up there? So where the line is where the water was, and everything above that is the equivalent of the ethanol that we pulled out.
Yeah, it was the bottom, the water was up
You
to the
pulled
bottom
out.
of that line.
Yeah.
And now, there was a little bit of gas in my hose, and you
Yeah.
can see that separating out at the top.
Okay, but that's good. That means you got all.
I got all the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was deliberate.
that was deliberate.
And then this here will get dumped into a,
So now that red can is full of non-ethanol gas. And you know, if you wanted to UPS that gas to Hawaii, you could get $4 a gallon.